It's Tuesday, September 25th of 2018, and it's Guy's Daily Drive. And good morning. It is Tuesday. I haven't recorded one of these in a while, and it's not really because I've been busy, because I haven't been that busy. It's just there's stuff that is occupying my mind that I can't really explain that well. But it's there, it's real, and it's occupying, whatever that means. I am trying a new camera program to record the video called Filmic, and it's actually one I have used before. Oh God, had to have been back in the Macworld days. I used to use this program for recording interviews and stuff on the Macworld Expo floor, and really dug it. I can't really say why when I started doing Guy's Daily Drive that I got away from it, or actually didn't even really have it on this particular device. I just didn't. So I was using I can't remember the name of the other program, but that's the one I had been using, and now I'm trying this, and it offers some options that the other one didn't. Audio controls are certainly more visual. Now, whether or not that means that from within the program I can do something with the audio, because I mean, really what I would like to do is the background noise you hear from the car is essentially one small range of frequencies, and if I could find some way, basically if you want to remove a small set of frequencies from audio, that's called either I think it's called a bandpass filter, where it allows all frequencies except for this narrow range that that you've specified. It's also called a notch filter. It does basically the same thing, where you are just saying that you don't. Excuse me. There's usually one more. It usually means I have one more sneeze, and I don't feel it. Doesn't mean it's not there. But that's kind of what I need to do is find a way to filter out just that one small set of frequencies, and to do whatever video editing program that I use. And if you guys know of one that doesn't cost a fortune, I'm not going to buy Final Cut Pro, and I'm not going to subscribe to Adobe Premiere CC to do Guy's Daily Drive. I'm just not. These are programs that cost, like Final Cut Pro is $300. Adobe Premiere CC, Creative Cloud, I don't know how much that is per year for just that program, because I don't really use much in the way of Adobe's other programs, and I'm sure they're wonderful, and the people who know how to use them would be pulling at their hair and saying, "My God, Guy, you could make it so easy if you just did blah, 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 in Adobe's blah, 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 blah." well, I'm not going to do that. One of the things about Guy's Daily Drive is that it's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be easy. And if you add a lot of complexity to it, then it won't be fun. And when it really, really comes down to it, and it's the same. I've said this about the Mac to the Future livecast. I've said this about the MyMac Podcast, is that neither myself nor anyone else who's involved in these three ventures, two of which are video, one is audio only, is making any money at it. I've got a couple of Patreon subscribers, and that basically pays for the what is the Podion? I mean, whatever company I use to store the audio files for Guy's Daily Drive and the Mac to the Future show. All the video, of course, is up in YouTube or Facebook. But that's really all that kind of stuff pays for. And it doesn't even really pay for all of that. But again, I did the MyMac Podcast and sunk a ton of money into equipment year after year after year, knowing that I wasn't going to get money back from it. It wasn't the motivating factor for me to get involved in podcasts. The motivating factor for me to get involved in podcasts was to enjoy myself, to have a hobby that I enjoy doing, and to just kind of get better at doing those kinds of things, public speaking and putting my voice out there, and not feeling all self-conscious because potentially thousands of people could be watching this. Thousands of people do not watch this, but the potential is there. I mean, there's lots of people that go to YouTube every day, and in theory, a goodly portion of them could be going to watch Guy's Daily Drive. Thus far, they have not, and that's okay too. I don't do this for the acclaim. I don't do this for the applause. I don't do this for the money. I do it because I enjoy doing it. And anything that you do that you are not making money at, if you don't enjoy doing it, stop doing it. It's like you go to see the doctor. God, this is such an old joke. You go to see the doctor and you say, "Doc, it hurts when I raise my hand up over my head like this." And the doctor looks at you and says, "Well, then don't raise your hand up over your head." I mean, this isn't really rocket science. This is kind of just the way things are. So, wow, boy, it is really, really gloomy today. So, but in essence, that's it. It's why I do this, and it's why I sink money into things like equipment and cameras and better computers and all the rest of that, just because I enjoy doing it. I have a really, really good time doing this stuff. So, what else is going on? I've got another trip coming up pretty soon. Not this weekend, but the weekend after that, I'm going to Ohio, and I'm going to see my buddy Dave and his wife Joyce. And then Dave and I, we're going to go to a Cleveland Browns game. I don't know if I may have already talked about this, so I'll talk about it again. Now, as some of you, but probably not most of you, know, for the last few years, I have gone to a couple of the Baltimore Ravens football games. I have a neighbor who has season tickets, and on occasion he has asked me to go with him, which is very kind of him, and I really appreciate it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. It just means that those were the football tickets that I had privy to, and I enjoy going to live football games. So, Cleveland and Baltimore are in the same division in the NFL, along with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So they are rivals. They are certainly very much rivals. They see each other twice a year, home and home games. And typically, division games are very hotly contested because the teams know each other so well. And the people who go to those games don't particularly like the fact that some people show up in the other team's colors and jerseys and things like that. And it can lead to problems. I have seen fights break out just because, and it wasn't even a division game. I went to a Baltimore Ravens game a couple years back, and they were playing the Falcons, Atlanta Falcons. And there was a guy sitting like right next to me, and he was wearing a Atlanta Falcons jacket. Nice jacket too. And there were drunken idiots that were sitting around where we were that were giving him a hard time just because he had the audacity to wear an Atlanta Falcons jacket. And Baltimore won the game, which is good because God only knows what these idiots would have done if Atlanta had won. But I mean, the whole game, it was just, and it got down to even, they started throwing popcorn and other crap like that at this guy. And it's like, he's just here to watch a football game. Well, as bad as that is, it can be even worse when you're playing a division rival and you show up with somebody else's colors. So, even though I do have, I've got a couple of Baltimore Ravens jerseys, I've got some Baltimore Ravens cami pants and, stuff like that. I'm not going to take any of those to the game. I'm not going to be that guy who causes an issue. I will root for the Browns. The only time I wouldn't root for a team whose stadium I was sitting in would be if they were playing the Miami Dolphins, which is my team. I went to, it was a Dolphins-Ravens game, and I came up with a compromise. I wore a Dolphins jersey, but I had on Ravens cami pants and a Ravens hat. So as I was walking around, these guys would be like, ha, ha, ha. They didn't quite know what to do because I was wearing a Dolphins jersey, but I had on all this other Ravens stuff. And usually by the time they could think of some kind of response, I'd already walked away. So, yeah. But it's going to be a good time. And, it's always a good time when I go to see my buddy Dave and his wife Joyce. They live in a kind of a rural part of Ohio. There's not a whole lot of other people around. It's quiet. Oh, my goodness. To just get away from the noise and to just hear, crickets and outdoor noises, and to look up into the sky, and you can see so many more stars when you get away from the bright lights of the city. And it's a beautiful area that they live in. They have a very nice and lovely home, and I'm always grateful that they have allowed me to come and spend a little time with them. I really, really do enjoy it. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So I won't be on the MyMac Now, this weekend I will be on the MyMac Podcast. Weekend after that I won't be. Some other news. Warren, my usual co-host for Mac to the Future, the live cast, is currently in Las Vegas, having fun there with his wife. So he won't be on the Mac to the Future live cast tomorrow night. And David Ginsburg, who is host of In Touch with iOS, and damn it, he does he and this other guy do a show about horse racing, and I cannot remember the name of the show. And Dave, if you're watching or listening to this, I'm sorry. But we will plug the hell out of it tomorrow night. So that's really about it. This was mostly just me trying this new program and seeing how it works as compared to the other program that I use on the iPod Touch to record Guy's Daily Drive. But that's going to about do it. If you would like to get a hold of me, you can reach me via email, guy@mymac.com, probably. I'm on the Twitters as Mac Parrot. And of course, the aforementioned MyMac.com podcast I do with Gazmaz, and the Mac to the Future live cast that I do with Warren, and tomorrow night I'll be doing with David Ginsburg. If you would like to help contribute to the madness that is the various things that I do online, I have a Patreon account, patreon.com/MacParrot, or you just look me up, Guy Searle. Also, I have a coffee account, ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or Guy Searle. Any of those ways will help offset the costs of the things that I do, and I appreciate the fact that you have downloaded and or listened to any of this. And I will catch you next time on Guy's Daily Drive.